There is a shift waiting to happen, an irreversible transformation. When you listen to these words, something will activate within you, setting in motion a chain of events that will forever alter your reality. The question is not whether this will work, but whether you are ready to receive the abundance that is your birthright. Imagine a life where money flows effortlessly to you, where every door you touch opens, and where scarcity no longer holds power over you. That reality can be yours. But it requires a deep change, a surrender to the flow of wealth, and a trust in the universe's infinite generosity. This prayer, unlike any other, will not merely attract wealth. It will unleash it into your life, removing every barrier and belief that has kept you from it. What was once a struggle will now come with ease, and what seemed impossible will become inevitable. But with this power comes a responsibility, a readiness to embrace the unknown and the fear that may accompany such a profound shift. The moment you hear these words, something profound begins to stir within you. A shift that will forever change the course of your life is now in motion. The reality you once knew, filled with limitations, doubts, and fears, starts to melt away like morning fog under the warmth of the sun. What you once thought was unreachable, impossible, or even non-existent will suddenly flood into your life. The abundance that has always been around you, quietly waiting for your awareness, is now ready to pour into your life in ways you never imagined. This is not just an external change. It is an internal revolution. It's a journey that begins deep within the heart and mind. If we reflect on the teachings of the Buddha, we realize how the mind shapes our reality. The Buddha often spoke about dukkha, the suffering that arises from attachment and desire. We experience suffering because we endlessly chase after something outside of ourselves, believing that happiness, success, and wealth are things to be fought for, something we must strive tirelessly toward. But what if, instead of chasing, we simply release the attachments that bind us? What if we let go of the belief that wealth is elusive and out of reach? The real wealth, the true freedom, lies not in the chase, but in the letting go. The Buddha taught that all suffering comes from attachment to our ideas, to our fears, and even to our ideas about money and success. When we let go of these attachments, we open ourselves to the natural flow of abundance. Think about it. True freedom is found not in striving, but in allowing. Allowing the universe to move through you without resistance. Allowing wealth to flow to you without struggle. But as this change begins to unfold, you might feel fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of the power that is stirring inside you. It's natural to feel fear when something extraordinary is happening, when your reality is shifting in ways you've never imagined. But in Buddhist philosophy, fear is not a sign to turn back. It's actually a signal that you are stepping into a new realm. You are crossing a threshold, moving into a space where limitations no longer hold you. A place where wealth and abundance are no longer dreams. They are present, tangible, and inevitable. This mirrors the concept of nirvana in Buddhism, a state of liberation from the cycles of suffering and limitation. In the pursuit of wealth, we are often trapped in the cycle of samsara, caught in a loop of striving, struggling, and suffering. But when we release our attachment to that cycle, when we let go of the need to chase after wealth, we step into the pure potential of nirvana. We enter a state where abundance flows effortlessly, where there is no more need to push or force, only to allow. The fear you feel is simply the discomfort of transformation, the natural resistance we all experience when we're on the brink of something new. But once you push through that fear, you find yourself in a reality where everything flows naturally, where success is not earned through struggle but received with grace. The abundance that once seemed impossible to reach becomes your new reality. You begin to understand that the wealth you've been seeking was never truly out of reach. It was just waiting for you to open your eyes and let it in. This is the moment of change, The moment you choose to stop chasing, to stop fighting, and to simply align with the flow of abundance, it's the moment when fear no longer holds you back. And when that happens, everything begins to shift. Now, abundance is no longer a concept or a distant dream. It is the natural state of your life. Once you release the fear, the struggle, and the limiting beliefs, you step into a world where everything you desire comes to you effortlessly. The universe has always been ready to bless you with all that it has, but it was waiting for you to open up and receive. The doors that once seemed locked are now wide open. And the best part? There's no going back. Once you cross this threshold, you are forever in tune with the flow of abundance. In the words of the Buddha, what you think, you become. If you can shift your mindset, if you can release your attachment to scarcity and fear, you will find that the universe has always been conspiring to bring you everything you need. It was never about working harder or striving endlessly. It was always about being open, about allowing the wealth, peace, and success that are already yours to flow into your life. Are you ready to step into this new reality? The moment of change is here. The only thing standing between you and your abundance is the fear you choose to let go of. So take a deep breath, embrace the unknown, and allow the universe to flood your life with everything it has to offer. The beliefs that once bound you, the beliefs that wealth must be earned through struggle and sacrifice, are not truths. They are illusions conditioned by the mind. These ideas are deeply ingrained in us by society, upbringing, and the world around us. Yet when we peel back the layers of these limiting beliefs, we see that they are nothing more than chains, keeping us trapped in a cycle of striving without fulfillment. This is akin to what the Buddha called Samsara, the cycle of birth, suffering, and rebirth. We are caught in this cycle as long as we continue to cling to our false perceptions and attachments. But here's the good news. You do not have to remain trapped in this cycle. In Buddhism, liberation from samsara is known as moksha, the state of ultimate freedom. Moksha is not some far-off, mystical destination. It is the moment when we release all attachments, including the belief that wealth, success, and happiness are things to be chased. In truth, these things have always been available to us. They simply await our recognition and acceptance. When we release the past, we step into a realm of abundance, where prosperity is no longer something we must work tirelessly to attain. Instead, it is something we simply embrace. The Buddha's teachings often speak of dukkha, the suffering that comes from attachment. The suffering we experience in life is not due to our circumstances, but because of our attachment to ideas, outcomes, and possessions. In our modern world, we are taught that everything must be earned, that wealth must be hard-won, that success is something to be fought for. But when we release these attachments, we begin to understand the deeper truth. Abundance is not earned, it is received. The shift you're experiencing now is not just an intellectual change, it's a profound spiritual and energetic transformation. As you begin to let go of the old ways of thinking, a new lens opens before you. You no longer see wealth and success as scarce, something available only to the lucky few. Instead, you start to see them as natural states of being, available to anyone who aligns with them. In the Buddhist tradition, this mirrors the teachings of right view and right action, which are key elements of the Noble Eightfold Path. In the story of the Buddha's enlightenment, he sat under the Bodhi tree, resisting the temptations of fear, doubt, and desire. He meditated deeply, seeking understanding not only of the nature of suffering, but also of the path to freedom. It wasn't until he let go of his attachment to the notion of self and embraced the impermanence of all things that he achieved enlightenment. The same is true for us. Only by releasing our attachment to outdated beliefs about wealth and success can we step into a state of true prosperity. As you let go of these limiting beliefs, your entire being begins to shift. Every cell in your body starts to vibrate with the frequency of prosperity. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about aligning your energy with the natural flow of abundance that already surrounds you. The universe doesn't need your struggle, it simply requires your alignment. When you align yourself with abundance, the universe aligns with you, effortlessly bringing wealth, success, and opportunity into your life. In Buddhism, we speak often of right action, which is the practice of living in harmony with the world around us. It's about making choices that are in line with our higher purpose, choosing actions that promote peace, kindness, and generosity. But right action also refers to the alignment of our thoughts and beliefs with the natural flow of life. When we live in alignment, we cease to struggle. Everything we need, whether it's material wealth, relationships, or spiritual growth, comes to us effortlessly. This is the truth of the universe. Abundance flows freely to those who are open and willing to receive. As you step into this new reality, you may feel a wave of fear, a tremor in the pit of your stomach. The magnitude of what is happening can feel overwhelming, but fear in this instance is not something to be avoided. It is something to be embraced. It is the fear of greatness. It is the fear of receiving more than you ever imagined possible. The Buddha spoke of anicca, the impermanence of all things. As you enter this new realm of abundance, you will see that your previous limitations were merely transient states. This fear is a sign of growth. It is the mind's natural reaction to the unknown. But in Buddhism, we are taught that we must confront fear with wisdom. The Buddha's teachings on mindfulness and meditation help us understand that fear is merely a passing sensation, a fleeting moment in time. When we learn to observe it without attachment, we free ourselves from its grip. As you move deeper into this new reality, you will begin to see that the obstacles and limitations that once defined your life are no longer relevant. The scarcity that once defined your financial reality will vanish, replaced by the truth of abundance. No longer will you have to chase after wealth, it will come to you. This is the shift from striving to allowing, from doing to being. In the story of the Buddha's enlightenment, he sat under the Bodhi tree, confronting his deepest fears and attachments. As he did so, he realized that all suffering comes from clinging to what we think we know. When we release that clinging, we are free. In the same way, as you release the old beliefs about money and scarcity, you will find that wealth and opportunities come to you without effort. It is no longer about pushing, it is about trusting the process. When we speak of transformation, we're not simply talking about external changes in our lives. We're discussing a profound internal shift, one that aligns the mind with the natural flow of the universe. The Buddha, in his wisdom, often spoke of the importance of inner transformation. He said, "What you think, you become." In essence, your internal landscape shapes the world around you, and as you open your heart and mind, the universe begins to unfold before you, revealing the abundance that was always meant to be yours. As this energy flows through you, it's not a superficial change. It's a reconfiguration of your entire being. The vibration of scarcity, the belief that you are limited, that wealth is something to chase, will gradually dissolve. In its place, the vibration of abundance will emerge. This shift doesn't just affect your mindset. It alters your entire way of being. What was once difficult will now come with ease, and what seemed impossible will soon feel inevitable. This reminds me of the story of the Buddha's enlightenment. He was once a prince, living in luxury, but he left his palace in search of something deeper. Through years of meditation and self-reflection, he came to understand that happiness and fulfillment come not from external possessions, but from inner peace and wisdom. As he meditated under the Bodhi tree, he became enlightened, not because of what he had in the world, but because he finally realized that the wealth he had been seeking was always within him. When we align with the natural state of abundance, we begin to see the opportunities that were always around us. It's like wearing a new pair of glasses. Suddenly, the world becomes clearer. When we let go of limiting beliefs, such as the belief that money is hard to come by or that success requires immense struggle, we start to notice the subtle ways in which the universe is already working in our favor. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about recognizing the abundance in every moment, in every experience, in every relationship. Once you align yourself with abundance, you will notice how effortlessly it begins to flow into your life. No longer will you have to chase after it. Instead, money and opportunities will come to you naturally, as if guided by an invisible hand. You won't have to force anything. The Buddhist teachings on Samyak Drishti, right view, remind us that our perception shapes our reality. When we view the world through the lens of abundance, we align ourselves with the forces that naturally bring prosperity. The process of transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a continual journey, and the more you repeat these truths, the more powerful they become. The Buddha taught that sati, mindfulness, is the key to growth and enlightenment. It's not enough to simply understand the teachings once. We must live them, breathe them, and incorporate them into every aspect of our lives. Imagine a small flame that you gently feed with each breath. At first, it flickers and struggles to burn. But as you continue to nurture it, it grows stronger and stronger until it becomes an unstoppable force. This is what happens when you repeatedly align your energy with abundance. Each repetition reinforces your connection to the universe's flow, multiplying its effects in your life. The power of repetition is something that the ancient sages understood deeply. In many cultures, including Buddhism, mantras, repeated affirmations, were used to align the mind with divine energy. These sacred words were not just about repeating sounds, but about transforming the inner state, shifting the energy in a way that attracts higher vibrations. Every time you repeat affirmations of wealth, prosperity, and abundance, you are energetically aligning yourself with these qualities. Think of the teachings of the Buddha, who said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." When we repeat these thoughts of abundance, we are actively creating a reality where abundance becomes the natural state. It's like planting seeds in the soil of your mind, nurturing them with each repetition until they sprout into a garden of opportunities. This is not a one-time shift. It's a continuous process of growth. Just as a tree doesn't stop growing after a few seasons, your alignment with abundance continues to expand. The more you practice this, the stronger the force becomes, and soon the flow of wealth and opportunities will seem unstoppable. You won't even have to chase after them. They will find you. In Buddhism, the idea of paramita, perfection, is often emphasized. The idea that we continually strive toward higher levels of wisdom, compassion, and peace. This is similar to the process of aligning with abundance. It is not a destination, but a path of continuous growth and expansion. As you repeat your affirmations, as you align your energy, you will reach new heights of prosperity, success, and fulfillment. In this moment of transformation, it's essential to remember that you are not separate from the universe. The universe is always working in harmony with you. The abundance you seek is already here, waiting for you to recognize it. It's like a river that is always flowing, but it's up to you to open the gates and let it flood into your life. When you align with the flow of prosperity, you allow that river to pour into every aspect of your being. The transformation within is about aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the higher frequency of abundance. As you do this, you begin to resonate at a level that attracts wealth in all its forms. This isn't just about material wealth. It's about the wealth of wisdom, compassion, and peace that can only come when we are in harmony with the universe. The ancient teachings tell us that true abundance comes when we recognize that we are all interconnected. The Buddha taught that inner being, the interconnectedness of all things, is the foundation of true wealth. When we live with this understanding, we realize that abundance is not just for us as individuals, but for everyone. The more we share and align with the abundance of the universe, the more it multiplies. Embrace this moment. Let go of the fear and doubt that has held you back. The universe has already decided that your path is one of abundance. Your only task now is to align with it, trust it, and allow it to flow freely into your life. Remember, abundance is not something you have to chase. It is something you must allow. Let the fear of having too much dissolve. You deserve all that the universe has to offer. The door to limitless wealth is now open, and it will never close again. Thank you for watching. Wishing you all good luck, peace, and prosperity. See you in the next video.